they stepped out of the club, Axl grabbed Rolf by the arm. "All right, I want the real reason for why you turned down an opportunity to keep this trip from becoming a complete waste." Rolf threw off Axl's hand from his arm and gazed intently into his eyes. "Because we're the Nightriders, that's why. Flameheart is a good band, I'm not arguing that, but we've already built a legacy for ourselves and we'd only be damaging that by opening for them." "What the heck, Rolf?" Lonnie shouted angrily. Just then, thunder rumbled in the distance, and the occasional raindrop landed on Axl's head. He shook his head while looking despairingly at the ground. "I should have known, Rolf," he said calmly. "I should have known from the start that you were the problem holding back this band." "What did you say?" Rolf snarled. "He's right," Lonnie chimed in. "Your ego is destroying the Nightriders' reputation. It's what drove Mac away, and it's why you took so long to find a vocalist you actually agreed to work with." Rolf cackled. "Yeah, well, I'm really beginning to regret my choice. I guess as the saying goes, never trust a long tongue." "Shut up, Rolf," Axl yelled as he felt his normally cool demeanor quickly beginning to deteriorate. "Do you think I'm intimidated by that stupid, overused racist remark? I know your idea of a good band member is someone who's easily intimidated and will do whatever you say. No, my idea of a good band member is someone who's not an idiot," Rolf countered. "The only idiot in this band is you," Axl shouted. "Because despite the fact that you work so hard to protect the legacy of the Nightriders, you're the one who's killing it." Without warning, Axl felt the sharp pain of Rolf's fist smashing into the left side of his face. "What the heck, Rolf?" Lonnie shouted, wide-eyed with shock. After regaining his composure from the blow, Axl tightened his right fist. "You just found the limits of my patience, buddy." Axl returned a blow to Rolf, and the two began exchanging a barrage of punches. "What are you guys doing?" Lonnie hollered as he unsuccessfully tried to separate the two. "This ain't solving nothing." Tired and bruised from their fast but furious rumble, Axl and Rolf eventually backed away from one another, shouting insults and accusations. As the adrenaline began to wane, Axl felt the pain. A large gash on Axl's left cheek burned and began to swell, while Rolf's lip and eye were bruised and swollen. "Next time you take a cheap shot at me, I'll finish the job," Axl snarled. "Long tongue," Rolf jeered as he wiped the blood from his nose. "That was stupid, guys," Lonnie scolded. Both Rolf and Axl stood there, panting and trying to catch their breath from the roughhousing. By this time, the scuffle had gained some spectators. Guys, it would probably be a good idea to split before we gain any more attention," Lonnie advised. Axl observed the growing presence of an audience and nodded his head at Lonnie. Rolf gave Axl one more dirty look before walking in the direction of their van. After Rolf had gained some distance, Axl and Lonnie slowly followed. "Dude, you're gonna need stitches for that," Lonnie said as he analysed the gash on Axl's face. Axl waved him off. Lonnie released a despairing sigh. "I'm assuming we're going to need to start looking for another vocalist, right?" For a moment, Axl stopped walking. He flashed back to his many years of labouring in the clubs and bars, singing karaoke to a bored audience that all too often couldn't care less for music. He thought about his first experience with the Dirty Rats, the first real band he'd played with, which ended in disaster upon learning of the band's connection to the Sewer Rat gang. To call it a disaster was an understatement, as it ended with him promptly leaving the band and his former bandmates hunting him down for walking out with their gang-related secrets. All this brought on an unusual combination of feeling both determination and helplessness, as he knew there was no walking away from this situation. He gazed into Lonnie's eyes. "What I told you before, Lon. I've worked with bandmates who literally wanted to kill me. Believe me when I say that working with Rolf is a walk in the park." Lonnie shook his head in disbelief. What band did you say you were from again? Without saying another word, Axl continued walking back to the van.